Meeting is being recorded.
Let's try. Good morning. Moro. No.
Morning.
There we go. Morning.
Morning. Good morning, Dino and colleagues.
Great. Good morning, everyone. I think we may be ready to start. All right, so welcome everyone, and thank you very much for joining us today and taking the time out of your busy schedules really just to be here witnessing our amazing entrepreneurial talent in sub-Saharan Africa. Before I begin, my name is Nongleba Tabazi, also known as Noni, and I am the Program Director for Grindstone X at the Grindstone Accelerator. And I am really honored and excited to be here emceeing our activities for the day, but really just taking you through our program. And as we kick off, I'd first like all of you to introduce yourselves. So if you could please just drop who you are, where you're joining from, your role, what company you're representing, drop that information in the chat and let's start interacting. Let's start getting a sense of who's in the room, and feel free to engage one another on the chat function. So just for a bit of context, over the past year, there's been quite a lot of activity, and today we are proud to be hosting you all to celebrate the immense work that has gone on behind the scenes in preparation for today. The Innovation Bridge Portal, also the IBP, an initiative of the South African Department of Science and Innovation, supported by the Department of Small and Business Development in South Africa, in partnership with the World Bank Group, Think Room, as well as a number of national counterparts across Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, and Namibia, are hosting a series of hybrid events to showcase young entrepreneurs from 5 countries across sub-Saharan Africa over this week. And today we begin with our first installment of these events, showcasing the entrepreneurial talent in Namibia. And so over the past year, this initiative has been partnering with the Thinkubate Academy, powered by Think Room, to really just enable the cohorts of young entrepreneurs to receive some tailor-made solutions to help in their early stage business development. And this was, of course, achieved through online learning, practical support, mentorship, as well as the preparations for today's pitches. So a total of 115 entrepreneurs from Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Namibia, and South Africa have benefited from the program. And the top 30 plus entrepreneurs will be showcasing their ventures through this pitch event today, as well as throughout the week across the region. And so we're very, very excited to be hosting all of our entrepreneurs today. Our first prize winner will receive 20,000 Namibian dollars, and our second prize winner will receive 10,000 Namibian dollars. And of course, we have to thank our sponsors. Our wonderful prizes for these entrepreneurs are sponsored by Momentum. And so we're very excited to have you all here today. And before I get carried away with excitement for the day, let me just quickly share some house rules just before we quickly go into the program. So again, please share who you are in our chat, where you're joining us from. Feel free to use that as a place to ask questions as well, and you can engage our team there too. I wanted to share some jokes, but I realized it would be quite difficult if everyone's cameras were off. So please make sure to turn your cameras on for more interaction, just so we can see your beautiful faces, but make sure that your microphones are muted throughout the day's activities, unless you will be answering any questions. And just for a brief overview of what you'll be in store for today, we will hear our welcome remarks from Claudia Capelao, the NIPDP Manager for Ecosystem Optimization. We will then hear our opening remarks from Dino Balotti, the NIPDB Executive Director. And we're also excited to hear our keynote address from Daniel Rostier, who will then also just be giving us some words of inspiration there. And then we'll be hearing from our partners and speaking more to the Innovation Bridge portal and giving us a bit of a Thinkubate Academy overview. And we will then be hearing there from Ganesh Rasagam, the World Bank Lead Private Sector Specialist, Michelle Harding, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, South Africa Program Manager, as well as Catherine Young, the Think Room Consulting Founder. And after that, we'll hear a bit from our entrepreneur, Jessie, who'll be sharing a bit about her entrepreneurship journey as the Nickel CEO and founder. And of course, the reason we have all gathered here today, we will then be hearing our entrepreneurship pitches, hearing from some of our founders across Namibia. And we will then break away just to break some ice, but also to give our judges a chance to deliberate. And this will be an opportunity for all of you to interact with each other, but also for us to find out a little bit more about you. So be ready for that, just a moment of interaction between us and the audience in the room. Online rather. And lastly, we will hear feedback from our judges and find out who our winners for the day are. So if you are ready, I think I am ready for us to begin. And so after that, just before I do begin, I'd like to also mention that we will be hearing our closing remarks from the World Bank Country Director, Marie-Francois Marinelli. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get on for our agenda for today. Let's get started. And to kick us off, I would like to introduce Claudia, the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, NIPDP Manager. Claudia is responsible for optimizing the MSME and startup ecosystem in Namibia, but also using various sets of data to ensure the most impact in creating a conducive environment for scalable businesses to operate. So Claudia, over to you. Do we have Claudia joining us? Oh, there we go. All right, perfect.
I'm Alenkana. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and everything in between. Welcome to the Innovation Bridge Portal's Thinkubate Academy's pitch event. As mentioned, I'm Claudia Barber Kapalau. Sometimes I forget I've changed the name. And I'm the MSME Ecosystem Optimization Manager at the NIPDB. And I must say that it is an absolute pleasure to have you all here today, physically, virtually, and for some of you in spirit. On to the formalities. I'd like to acknowledge the following participants, both virtual and physical, just so that everybody else can stand on the protocol that is about to be observed. So, Ms. Marie-Francois Marinelli, World Bank Country Director, Ganesh Rasagam, World Bank Lead Private Sector Specialist, Daniel Rooster, Momentum Group Executive in charge of Marketing, Kabazi, Grindstone Program Director and our MC for today, Michelle Harding, CSIR South Africa Program Manager, Catherine Young, Think Room Consulting Founder, Jessie Shisea, Nichols Founder, the distinguished staff of the World Bank, NIPDB, the Department of Science and Innovation in South Africa, Department of SME Development in South Africa, as well as the CSIR, who are all responsible for collaborating behind the scenes to put this series of events together. The Thinkubate graduates and obviously pictures of today, the audience in the party view room in the back, and everybody else. If I have forgotten you on this piece of paper, we've not forgotten you in our hearts. We appreciate you for taking out the time today to join us. We want to learn, we want to laugh, and yes, of course, there will be snacks involved, which we intend on enjoying even on behalf of those of you who are joining us virtually. But in all seriousness, we really are thrilled to be participating in this event for today. And whether you're here to meet some interesting people, find out if your business ideas are actually, up to scratch based on what we're going to see today, or if you're also just trying to escape your meeting today, whatever your reason is for joining us today, we appreciate you. And we look forward to seeing what the fruit of this almost 2-year journey has been as part of the graduating cohort of the Think You Bait Academy. I encourage you to sit back, relax, switch on your cameras so we can see you in that mode. And I know that I'm not going to be seeing with you, I'm not going to be with you for the rest of the program. So I'm going to leave you in the very capable hands of Nonkeba. And it is standard, we expect jokes. So we will switch on these cameras since you've given us that as a condition. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to take us through this program and it's going to come to a fruitful and successful end with somebody smiling $20,000 richer and another person $10,000 richer. And hopefully those drops will make a significant contribution to the ocean that is going to be their businesses. And with those few words, I would like to welcome you all. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much, Claudia. And also just setting the scene there for us. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure to grab your snacks. And yes, the jokes will be coming, Claudia. But I think for us to just kick off with the program and continue there, I would like to welcome the NIPDP PDB Executive Director, Dino Balotti. Dino is responsible for developing institutional mechanisms, creating targeted approaches for the scalability of MSMEs, and assuming the lead coordinating role for MSME development nationally. Dino, please take over the stage. It is yours and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. It's really a privilege, and I told someone this morning I feel a hangover from lack of sleep. I don't know if that's possible, but we're trying to share jokes, so maybe that's my icebreaker for the morning. Nonkeba, I really wanted to put the click in. You gave yourself the name Noni, but we'll stick with Nonkeba. It's really lovely to be here in the presence of Namibians that we see more often than not. Ituna and Beatrice, you're welcome. The colleagues that are in the room behind us, you're also welcome. And really, we're here to serve entrepreneurs today. My team and I, we are so privileged to partner with the World Bank Group, in particular Ganesh. I'm not sure if Ganesh is an uncle to us now, or a father, or maybe an older brother. I don't think he's a cousin. So really, Ganesh, we appreciate you. Again, it is my honor to welcome each of the colleagues online from South Africa and around the world. I believe I will stand on the protocols that Claudia has established. There are two special mentions that need to be acknowledged, and that is Danielle in absentia. I believe she will be with us later, representing Momentum Metropolitan, and our adopted Namibian, Ganesh Rasagama. These are two of the greatest people that I personally have had the privilege to get to know. So we find ourselves here today, really where we emphasize the importance of a startup culture in Southern Africa. I believe that events like this are crucial for platforms that spur innovation. Allow me to share a bit of context. South Africa. No, we're not South Africa today. We are Namibia today. Southern Africa is filled with potential. We have of the very most talented people, maybe biased a little bit to Namibia, but we have vast natural resources, we have unique opportunities, and a collective growing economy, if from a low base. We also face challenges, however, as we are all too aware of a youth unemployment pandemic, real inequalities as well as poverty. Yet, these are the challenges that require our startups to solve and treat them as opportunities. These are the opportunities to create change, to disrupt, and to build back better. This is where the startup culture enters. Startups are the engines of innovation, as we all know. They are where new ideas are born and where risks are taken. And when challenges become opportunities, we become very excited when we see Namibians like Jose, who will be sharing his story later today, that are trying to create solutions to global problems and not only Namibian or Southern African problems. If I can repeat, a startup culture is utmost important for Southern Africa because it encourages people to think regionally and globally. We need to think big, and Southern Africa needs to tap into the shared ecosystem that exists to intertrade and to share. It is really encouraging how young people are taking risks when entrepreneurship is no longer about necessity, but about high growth potential. A startup culture is not only about creating new enterprises that can be sold to Google or Amazon if you're that fortunate. It is about creating a mindset that values innovation, creativity, and risk propensity. It's about fostering a culture that does not consider starting businesses as a taboo for the unemployed. Startups will fail, but as my professor Boris Urban said, and I quote, fail fast and fail cheap, then start again. Before I conclude, why is it important to have events like this today that bring together entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators? It's because events like this create a community of people who are passionate about startups, who share their ideas, and who are working to support entrepreneurs to become unicorns. I can't wait for the day that Namibia has his or her own unicorn. This is a platform for learning, collaborating, and networking. For those that are online, we were eating nice cookies and tea here before. We apologize to yourselves, but we'll break bread with you when we see you again soon. I personally believe that a startup culture is crucial for Southern Africa. We are the change makers, and we shall collectively disrupt, create value, and build an Africa that we want the next generation to live in. World Bank, you are valued not only as development partners, but as real agents for positive change. Your values of impact, innovation, and teamwork resonate with us as an agency of government, where we seek to create value for the entrepreneurs we serve and helping them to scale their operations. My final hope is that today will inspire entrepreneurs to do even greater things and allow for continued ideation and building. That is my formal, welcoming remark? No, welcoming remarks. Now we can share some jokes. No, I'm only kidding. Nonteba, allow me to hand back to yourself. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very, very much there, Dino. I think, yeah, the pressure's building now for me to be the funniest MC. But I think we've done sort of a good intro so far, and I think we can proceed with our program and hear a little bit more from our partners, as mentioned by Dino. I think this is a great time really just for us to continue setting the scene, speaking more to the partnership and collaboration that has made this program and project possible. And so first off, we will be hearing from Ganesh, representing the World Bank, covering, East Africa, the Pacific, covering Indonesia as well, Vietnam, and the Pacific Islands, responsible for the finance, competitiveness, and innovation global practice at the World Bank Group. With his vast experience in global innovation and entrepreneurship, we're pleased to have him on this journey with us. But Ganesh, I'll hand over to you without taking any more time.
Thanks, Noni. And in fact, you introduced me in my former job. In my current role, I'm based in Pretoria and I work in Southern Africa. But I think that's the CV pulled up on the internet, I guess. Thanks very much, Dino and colleagues from NIPDB for that warm and generous welcome. I'm Michelle. I guess you're going to, yeah. So I'm just the introductory act for the main performances by my colleagues, Michelle Harding and Catherine Young from Grindstone. I wanted to give a bit of context to the World Bank engagement and support for this program. Why are we doing this? What's the genesis of this initiative? As Dino mentioned very clearly, an entrepreneur needs support from a variety of people. It can be a lonely journey for an entrepreneur. It's full of risks and uncertainty, and they need support, especially at the early stage. And so what this Innovation Bridge program is trying to do is to create a platform for collaboration, networking, and learning for entrepreneurs. And that's what we will be presenting shortly. Next slide, please. So the World Bank team has done a number of diagnostics on the entrepreneurship ecosystem in Southern Africa. We have done digital economy assessments across the 5 countries. We have done ecosystem assessments in 4 of the 5 countries. We have carried out early stage finance assessments in South Africa and Botswana. And what's coming across are the gaps in the ecosystem. Firstly, there are many different programs that are available for entrepreneurs, but most of these programs do not collaborate, do not work together. They work in silos. There's of their varying quality and impact, and often entrepreneurs don't even know where to go to get this support. So it takes South Africa, the more than 330 programs supporting entrepreneurs, definitely more than that. This last count was 330 a couple of years ago. So there's plenty out there, but what's coming out of the ecosystem in terms of new businesses and scalable businesses and new jobs is not quite there. So we think that these gaps can be addressed through a collaboration mechanism. This is what Innovation Bridge is really providing, a platform for collaboration, for scale, and for impact. The focus of the platform support right now is for what we call underserved entrepreneurs. There's a huge need to support women-owned, women-led businesses who have specific challenges. There's a need to support, for example, township entrepreneurs in South Africa, supporting entrepreneurs who are, in rural areas and so forth. So that's sort of the focus of this efforts. And we're looking at learning from programs that are working and how these programs can be scaled. How can we promote private-public collaboration? How can they connect the ecosystem of the other 4 countries, the smaller ecosystems, to South Africa so they can benefit from those support programs? And most importantly, measurement of data and learning and evidence base that we can then use to tweak our programs and make them more impactful and meaningful. So the focus of the Innovation Bridge programs is really in the very early stage businesses. So this is where we think there's a public goods element where government has to step in because the risks are high. You need some elements of grant funding, skills support. This is a space where between sort of pre-ideation, ideation to the MVP and possibly early stage seed, this is the focus of the programs in supporting the early stage entrepreneurs to address the gaps in the ecosystem. Now I'm going to hand over this to Michelle, who's going to talk about the overall platform. Michelle is the manager of the Innovation Bridge portal. She's from the CSIR DSI South Africa. She's a partner in crime. And then Catherine Young is from Think Room, and she is the partner in running the Thinkubate Academy program. Over to you, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. I was also just going to say now, I agree with one of our previous speakers that you would definitely feel for me like a very wise uncle, and hoping that our journey will carry on for a very long time. I've shared my screen, but now I don't see my presentation anymore. Let me just try that again. I don't know what happened. Great. I hope you can see my presentation again.
Yeah,
great.
It's
fantastic. Yes, we can.
Okay, fantastic. So I thought of just starting with a very basic introduction to the Innovation Bridge portal, really noting that not everyone in the room might even know what the Innovation Bridge portal is, and what our plans are with the portal. So my first slide really just focuses around the essence of the platform. And I think Ganesh did such a great job now that I almost don't want to say too much, but just confirming that what we want to really establish with this platform is a digital ecosystem. We, as the Innovation Bridge portal, we do not want to duplicate what anyone else is doing. And that is why we're partnering with a Thinkubate, with a World Bank, because we want to become that one platform where an SMME, where an entrepreneur can come and find the necessary information that they need that is tailored to them. There's a lot of, I think, time wasted with entrepreneurs having to Google and search and look for opportunities, for funding, for support. And, you know, sometimes it's difficult. You could Google something and find 40 websites, and you have to work through that, and you have to make sense of that for your situation and your business. And that is really for me, the passion behind the platform is accelerating the path of the entrepreneur, helping that entrepreneur to find the connections and the information that they need when they need it. And so just a little bit of background, where did all of this start? I mean, we started with the Innovation Bridge portal a few years ago, and it started off as an initiative by our Department of Science and Innovation, South Africa. But then in 2021, I met Ganesh and team, which is, as all of you could echo, is a wonderful experience. And Ganesh shared all the research the World Bank did, and we decided we have a platform that already speaks to showcasing innovations and technologies. Let's add an entrepreneur community and create that bigger ecosystem. And so we started engaging and working on this. And May of last year, we launched this entrepreneur community on the Innovation Bridge portal. And whilst we were launching the entrepreneur community, we also decided to have a look at the portal and freshen the look at some of the user experience around the platform. And it's at this stage where I feel like I would really love to show you our launch video of last year. I know that the video talks a bit more about sort of the South African landscape, but it gives a fantastic overview really of what the portal is, what our vision and mission is, where we're going with this. So if you'll allow me, I'd love to just quickly show you the video and then I'll carry on with my last slides.
We are proud to introduce you to the improved Innovation Bridge portal. In this video, we will present our new entrepreneur community and share more about our expanded vision. The portal has been enhanced with responsive design, improved navigation, search functions, and a fresh new look. The non-for-profit Open Innovation Platform brings entrepreneurship ecosystem stakeholders together for the benefit of innovators and entrepreneurs, and seeks to become a one-stop shop repository of information, opportunities, and network connections to help entrepreneurs and innovators.
Sorry, I'm not sure that you can see and hear the video. Maybe if I can just get a confirmation.
We can hear it.
Yes, we can hear and see the video. Yeah, we can hear it.
Okay, and see
But
it.
not see. It's not moving. We can hear it.
Hear it but not see.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just stop my share and try again. Apologies for that. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we do.
Let me just play this again.
Vision. The portal has been enhanced with responsive design, improved navigation, search functions, and a fresh new look. The non-for-profit Open Innovation Platform brings entrepreneurship ecosystem stakeholders together for the benefit of innovators and entrepreneurs, and seeks to become a one-stop shop repository of information, opportunities, and network connections to help entrepreneurs and innovators along their journey to success. The Innovation Bridge portal is an initiative of the Department of Science and Innovation, supported by the Department of Small Business Development, the World Bank Group, and managed by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. The Innovation Bridge portal gives you access to a database of relevant ecosystem initiatives, such as calls for funding applications to industry challenges, events, and others. Once registered, you will be able to upload and expand your portfolio of relevant information to easily apply for funding opportunities or tackle challenges through the portal. Our vision is to become the ultimate catalyst in creating an enabling environment for entrepreneurs and innovators to thrive, thus promoting economic and job growth in Africa. We strive to always be relevant, provide clarity and direction, eliminate fear and uncertainty, be humble and attentive, be inclusive, and be proudly African. We aspire to be a dynamic enabler, opening a door into the vibrant repertoire of African innovations, entrepreneurs, and opportunities, showcasing the continent's budding ingenuity to the world. We invite you to put your country on the map. Our Insights section aims to educate and guide stakeholders to connect with the larger ecosystem. Easily access our database of articles, success stories, and interviews that address specific pain points. You will also be able to view reports on the outcome of each of our ecosystem initiatives. We are excited to introduce the Innovation Bridge Portal Entrepreneur Community. By applying step-by-step roadmap software, the entrepreneur will be guided through the tricky path, from considering their idea or business concept, all the way to releasing their products and services into the market and growing their business. During this journey, we will bring all the relevant ecosystem players to the attention of the entrepreneur and ensure that they can access the precise support, investment, and mentoring opportunities that they may need. You can log into the portal by making use of your Innovation Bridge username and password, or via your Google or LinkedIn accounts. After registration, the Where Are You in Your Journey widget will pop up on the screen. For demonstration purposes, let's click on the Startup to show you how the portal works. You will receive access to your own personalized, tailored, and customized content-based dashboard. This includes easy access to investors, opportunities, and support based on your unique profile. The platform also matches you with relevant technologies or innovations that you could utilize to grow your business. Through a strategic partnership with the Department of Small Business Development, you will be guided through all compliance measures, including business registration, obtaining a tax certificate, and more, via our compliance network design and integration to key government institution databases. You are also able to showcase your business and increase your exposure to the international ecosystem. To access these benefits, remember to register. The Innovation Bridge Portal, your guiding catalyst along the pathway to success.
Thank you. I'm just going to go back to my presentation and then we'll finish off with that. So as you can see, we have a lot of plans with the Innovation Bridge Portal and a lot of possibilities and a very good view of where we want to go. But what I'd like to now focus on is just to speak a little bit about Namibia and the partnership and what we've been doing with the World Bank and the country. So as you saw in the video, already there exists an opportunity for the ecosystem in Namibia to register and benefit from the platform as it stands. And Namibia already has a very good presence on the platform, as you can see with the statistics just on the slide. So last year, October, we did a formal launch of the Innovation Bridge Portal in Namibia. And through the partnership with the NIPDB and the World Bank, we also participated in an event November last year. So we really want to extend an opportunity to the ecosystem players in Namibia to register on the platform and to start benefiting from the matchmaking and from access to different networks in other countries as well as South Africa. But then there's also a few things that we are looking towards and wanting to establish for Namibia as upcoming items. Currently, we are with the World Bank Group and other partners also continuously running ecosystem initiatives. We started a FinTech, InsurTech challenge few months ago that was on the Innovation Bridge portal. And we're also planning a green economy challenge that will be open to Namibia and to the entrepreneurs and innovators. And then lastly, what we would love to work with the Namibia counterparts and partners on is creating a very specific view for Namibia. So this would be an Innovation Bridge portal, but with a complete Namibia look and feel, as well as everything that Namibia has to offer within its bigger ecosystem to its entrepreneurs. And then the wonderful thing of that is connecting that to ecosystems in the other countries, looking at the fragmentation in the ecosystem and everything else that Ganesh so nicely explained to us earlier. And with this last slide, I would love to hand over to Catherine.
Great, thank you very much there, Michelle. I will just quickly interrupt here. My apologies. I think we got very excited and moved ahead with the program, but I would love us to go back to our keynote address and hear from Daniel, who will be joining us on our Zoom stage here. But Daniel is the Momentum Group executive focusing on marketing and is all about customer centricity and advocating the voice of the customer. She is passionate about the people and their behavior and their beliefs. Really, that is her core responsibility in applying customer insights to company strategies and adding value to both customers and the company. So Daniel, thank you very much for joining us. And yeah, I will now hand over to you.
Thank you so much. I was even trying here to Google startup jokes, but I didn't find any of them to be funny. So Nonseba, I'm sorry, I tried, but I'm going to have to leave it over to you. But yeah, what an honor it is to be here today as we support and celebrate entrepreneurial talent in Southern Africa. And it's so motivating to see everyone coming together and just collaborating to make this work, and really government institutions realizing the importance of entrepreneurs in growing our economy and solving for job creation and the unemployment rate. So yeah, first I would like to just express my heartfelt gratitude to the partners, the Namibian Investment Promotion and Development Board, the World Bank Group, Think Room, and then all the national counterparts across all the Southern African countries who are gathered here today. So I think we are all convinced and we know that South Africa is brimming with talent, creativity, and innovation. Our region is home to dynamic and innovative entrepreneurs, and this event is a testament to that fact. So it's a space where entrepreneurs, the creators, the innovators, the disruptors can showcase their ventures and network with like-minded individuals and potential investors. And why I mentioned that is because the purpose of this event aligns so strongly with our brand philosophy at Momentum Metropolitan Group, which is to assist underserved entrepreneurs to facilitate access to business support and services, to increase opportunities for finance, market access, and innovation. Momentum Metropolitan has a strong focus on youth on the continent, and our aim is to enable the life aspirations and sustainable earning potential of our young people. Today, we're not just here to see pictures or to network. We're here to witness the promise and potential of our region. Each pitch event we will hear today represents a dream, an idea, and something that I have not yet possessed is the courage to actually go into it and start something that I really believe in. And that's why I have so much respect for these entrepreneurs and startups. I definitely have not managed to get the courage together to make that bold step, and that's why I have so much respect for all of you. So yeah, I have basically three people that I would, or three groups that I would like to address. So our entrepreneurs, I want you to remember that success is not just about making profits. It's about making an impact. It's about having a purpose and being passionate about what you do. I think all of you would know that if you don't have that, you are not going to get very far in this very difficult journey. I've been in the startup sphere for a while now, so I chat to startups and entrepreneurs quite frequently, and it's definitely not an easy road. But yeah, it has its challenges, but it's also about creating value that benefits society as a whole. Then to the investors, academia, and the other ecosystem actors, I urge you to see the potential in these entrepreneurs, to support them, to mentor them, and to help them grow. The growth of our entrepreneurial ecosystem relies on the collaboration of the players. It's definitely not a one-man show, and it can't be done in isolation. And that's why these events excite me, and that's why it's absolutely something that at the drop of the hat, when we get these opportunities, we are on board, because we really believe in the potential of our youth, and we want to support those who take the risks and believe in their value that they can contribute, because we believe in it too. So yeah, with that said, finally, I have not addressed the importance of the public-private partnerships. So the Innovation Bridge portal is a perfect example of what can be achieved when public and private sectors come together for a common purpose. And we all get value out of this in the long run. So yeah, I just want to encourage these public-private sector relationships to continue to work together, to support our entrepreneurs, and to make Southern Africa a hub of innovation. As we move forward, let's remember that every great journey begins with a single step. Today, we take that step together towards a future of innovation, growth, and prosperity. Thank you. And yeah, we definitely are at the edge of our seats to see what things are going to come, what beautiful value creating developments and concepts are going to come out of not only today, but also these individuals taking risks going forward. So yeah, with that said, Onseba, over to you.
Great. Thank you very much, Danielle. That was quite, really inspiring and encouraging. I think just from the partners and partnerships we've heard so far, I think there's been so much shared and so much information that has been so useful. And I do hope, as entrepreneurs on the call right now, that you are taking advantage of, the people that are on the call right now, but more particularly the platforms that are being provided and spoken to today. So without any further ado, I think also before that, I think what I've seen and noticed so far is there's so much to share, so much information to be offloaded on today as well. And as partners and as founders and entrepreneurs support organizations, I think at least we can all agree on one thing, that we're really lucky that the Last Minute exists, just to keep on adding that extra resource, that extra title, and also just that extra piece of support. So congratulations to all of the partnerships and partners that have really made this possible. But before moving on, I will now hand over to Catherine Young, our founder of Think Room. Catherine, over to you.
Thank you so much, Nonnie, and hello, everybody. It's so absolutely lovely to be with you. It's just fantastic. And I always love my slot because I can speak about entrepreneurs. And for those who know me well enough, entrepreneurs is really our living and what we do. So please just give me a heads up, team, if you can see my screen.
Yes, we're good to go.
All good. Fantastic. So I am taking the challenge for the jokes. I know an introverted entrepreneur in the coal industry. He mind his own business. How's that for a lame joke? You want another?
Love it, Catherine. Keep them coming.
You challenged me, Nonnie. And I think Dino did too. People always talk about how great of an entrepreneur Elon is, but he's yet to create a cologne called Elon's Musk. Okay, I'm out of lame jokes now, so let's get into the real part of the presentation. I'm Catherine Young. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and really today I am speaking to you as an entrepreneur. And thank you so very much, World Bank, for enabling all of this. Really, it's such a big privilege to be part of it. Michelle, IBP 500, really, it's such a big privilege to be part of it. And also Namibia, how you showed up. It is absolutely fantastic on how this has just all worked. So let's just give you a very quick overview. I've been an entrepreneur now for, oh, another bad joke. Do you know that the French don't have a word for entrepreneurs? How sad is that? That's another bad joke. I've been an entrepreneur now for about, I don't know, 10, maybe 12 years. And it really is the most amazing journey. And I want to speak to the entrepreneurs in the room mostly today. So you'll see a couple of slides that really just will give you an overview of this program that we've run so far. And then I want to just leave the entrepreneurs with a couple of tips at the end. So this was a program that we've run across 5 different countries. And really for us, we know every single entrepreneur need at least 4 things. We know they need access to knowledge. That's always a key component. We know that they need access to networks, because networks is just, that makes the dream work. We know we need access to funding. And very often when we work with entrepreneurs, we try and establish, because money doesn't solve all the problems, whether funding is always the first need or not, because there are very many other ways of funding, and customers is one of them. So access to markets, that's the 4th one, a 4th need that we work with. And whichever program, we've worked with very many entrepreneurs across the continent, and globally, actually. I think we're on 21,000 something in terms of having worked with some entrepreneurs in some form or fashion, whether those are deep and narrow programs or wide programs. But the point is that having worked across the very many different programs, those 4 needs are always there. This particular program firstly addressed access to knowledge, and we did this in the following way. Thinkubate is incubation acceleration as a platform, but one component of Thinkubate is the LMS, and the entrepreneurs that we've worked with in this particular instance, there were about 68 of them that we've worked with, went through a process of consuming short courses on the LMS part of Thinkubate, and then went through some assessments, and then had the opportunity to spend some time with mentors. And really the mentors are, that's the glue that really very often cements some of the knowledge component of what the entrepreneurs learn, depending on their life stage. So that's the demographic split. We between male and female, almost even. What was very interesting for me, one part of these stats was the number of years in business. Entrepreneurs, take heart. Really, there's a saying in our industry: if you make it through the first year, that is a fantastic bonus point, because 80% of the startups typically don't. Then if you make it through year 3, that is another fantastic milestone, because of the 20% that go through, we also have a drop off of at least half of that. And then when you're through the year 3, really your next very difficult year is year 7. And then after that, you've got to make sure not to get too process orientated and become an institution. But the point is that you can see that we have a number of entrepreneurs who in the whole cohort who've been around for a number of years and have made the 1-year mark, have made the 3-year mark. So straight ahead, that's how we should do it. You can also see the country splits of how the programs run. And then this was a very interesting one, to my earlier point around, the access to funding versus the access to markets. You will see 30 of the entrepreneurs highlighted funding as their first priority. And what's been very interesting as the coaches have been working with the entrepreneurs about really refining value propositions, products, so that you can get to a point where your customers are the cheapest way of taking funding very often. And we often say to entrepreneurs, please focus on customers, because if they buy, that means your product's been validated. And if they haven't yet, that means there's work on product validation to do. I'm a very tough mentor with entrepreneurs only because I'm one myself, and I can often address my own ills as we work with entrepreneurs and startups. But that's the overall. So very briefly, anyone, any business, we are in a stage of business development, business life stage, we call it, at some point or the other. And what the entrepreneurs have done on this particular program, they do a pre-assessment, an assessment that says, where am I based on strategy, marketing, finance, etc., and then they get themselves to a stage 1, which is really at ideation stage, all the way through to really acceleration and growth. And what these startups have done, they've scored themselves, and then, as I said, we've paired them with amazing mentors, and the mentors have had one-on-one sessions with them, teaching them very many things. And I'm sure, like we always say, we learn as much as what we teach when we do mentoring. On this particular program, we had Cameron, Nonto, and Dudu, and really, to the mentors, thank you very much. I know that it's been hours and hours and hours of mentoring and coaching, and the way that you've just been so passionate about these startups has been amazing. I don't expect you to read the slide. It's complicated, but I just want to illustrate a point. So across, when those assessments are done, across the assessments, across the pillars from strategy all the way through to funding and valuation, entrepreneurs do a self-scoring of how they see their business. And then we also get the mentors to actually also do a scoring. And what's been so interesting is that typically, when we start entering the journey of gaining a lot of knowledge in entrepreneurship, we typically would estimate that we're a little bit higher in terms of where we are than where we actually are. Then a mentoring process happens, and then there's always shock horror when the second assessment, post-assessment happens, and the assessments actually, some of the scores lower. The point is, if the scores are lower, we really understand, and there's a lot of data in the background, that a lot of learnings taken place, because then you do your assessment with a different lens. So just very interesting to see the differences in scores between mentors and entrepreneurs, and then post-assessment too. So last bit on assessments, just three key observations. Very interesting that scoring is typically 20 or 30% higher than when an entrepreneur scores at the beginning, when they start the journey, to where they end at the end. What was also very interesting, and now I'm speaking to the female entrepreneurs in the room, it's very interesting that female entrepreneurs score themselves on average lower at that self-assessment stage, even if it's higher than the mentors, than what our male counterparts score themselves. So just be aware of that. Be aware of your own biases. And we've got a lot of videos actually talking about biases, own biases, imposter syndrome. If you want us to share more, we definitely will. And then sales, finance and accounting, and funding and valuation. Definitely the biggest gaps in this group that we've worked with and that we focused on a lot. What are some of the impact numbers? And these numbers are towards the end of the program. We will do a proper post-assessment 6 months properly after, but already jobs being created, revenue being increased, and funding increases being raised. So really, in closing, I've got literally a minute left. In closing, we have some good feedback from entrepreneurs on how it was. The one in particular, the interaction was very good with the coach, and he was excellent at delivering the presentation. So thank you, Cameron. We've really had such amazing feedback from the startups and from the entrepreneurs. But really, the one thing that we focus on is just being very specific and in the detail. And in closing, this is my closing thought on lessons learned to everybody in the room. Those are the 4 things that entrepreneurs need. And depending on the life stage, the balance will differ. It indeed takes an ecosystem to raise an entrepreneur. Everybody on the call, it's all of our responsibility. And one size does not fit all. And the programs that go and just want to do a one size fits all approach, we've just over the years learned that doesn't work. It's as per the entrepreneur's need. That's how we do it. I so agree with the keynote speaker before me. PPPs is the way to go. We can't do this alone. We can't live in a vacuum. And we often see that if from an ecosystem support point of view, what we do bottom up, and then if we get help from organizations like the World Bank, like governments working together, like top down, there's just magic that happens. Cool heads, long game. That's one of the things that I always teach all the startups and all the entrepreneurs. It's the quickest overnight success story always takes a couple of years, like 9 or 10. So just keep on keeping on. There is no turning back and straight ahead. Thank you, Noni, for the time.
Great. Thank you very much, Catherine. And I think, this event in itself is a true indication that it really does take an ecosystem to raise an entrepreneur, with all of the partnerships that have come together to really build the entrepreneurs that have been part of the program. We're really encouraged to see the development happening within the entrepreneurs' businesses themselves, but also just as an ecosystem. So really congratulations once again to everyone that has been a part of these successes. And now, in the spirit of entrepreneurship, we would like to hand over.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I guess it's my turn. Monseva just left us somehow. Thanks for having me. My name is Jesse, and I will be sharing something with everybody today, which is the journey of an entrepreneur. So, firstly, thank you for having me. It's quite an honor. It's really weird that as an entrepreneur and with a whole lot of awards, one still thinks one hasn't achieved enough in life. But yes, do let me know. Can you guys hear me? Are we good? Okay, Catherine, thanks for confirming. All right, cool. So I'll jump straight into this. My name is Jesse Lula Shiseya. I'm the founder of Nickel, and I will talk about myself, which is the hardest thing to do. And then I'll give you a quick introduction on Nickel. Just an introduction. I won't take too much time because it's not my pitch day. Right. So where it all started. So this journey began when I was in university. So I studied in Cape Town. I did my high school and university in Cape Town. And in my first year of university, I needed income. So what I did was I had a few student jobs, etc., but that didn't really burn my desire for what I was studying. I studied computer science. So I then decided to start building websites, and I taught myself how to in my first year. And within the first year, I built my first website for the residents I was staying in. And that just took off, even though I was only paid 1,500 rands. I think I was really excited for it. My first actual pay for my own company. And that's where it really took off. And a few years later, at the age of 21, I then came back to Namibia as a graduate, and I then officially registered my company with a few websites done and a few customers under my belt. And 6 months later, I got a non-tender client, which is an SEO, so state-owned enterprise, called the Namibia Institution of Pathology, and they literally helped me into the direction that I am today, because the deal was quite a huge deal, and it also enabled me to employ my first 2 people, and managing them was a journey on its own. I must admit. Nonetheless, so as I was building this company, the SME called Cylon Web Development, We did web development, mobile applications, cybersecurity, and digital marketing. I also continued studying, so I obtained 2 more degrees, not degrees, certificates rather. And I also obtained a few other certificates with online studies. And with that said, it helped me pivot to what I actually wanted to become. So Nickel was born because of my personal struggles. I hated creating invoices with Excel and Word. And I also lost track of all my expenses. So you'd buy something or you'd pay for something. And once it's in your pocket, it's in the bin, and there goes your expense. You'd have no idea what happened to that money months later when you need to report for or account for it. I then also struggled attaining credit or access to financing simply because I didn't have my books in order, and accountants are also pretty expensive. I mean, one can imagine a 23-year-old at this time and trying to access credit from a bank. One doesn't, I didn't know what I was doing, to be completely honest and fair with myself. But nonetheless, from that experience, that was the birth of Nickel. But before I say Nickel was called Cylon Accounting before. So I called everything Cylon. Cylon comes from a show called Battlestar Galactica, really nerdy of me. All my ventures were called Cylon Accounting. I mean, I have built a few apps and they're all Cylon something. So Cylon Medical, Cylon Marketing, Cylon, etc. But nonetheless, so we were called Cylon Accounting a year ago. So we launched October 2021. And we've been in existence for about, what, a year and 7 months now. And throughout the journey, Cylon Accounting didn't really sell. The name was horrible, simply because of the word accounting in it. Firstly, the word Cylon also. Many Africans can't pronounce the L and the R, so they confuse it. And sometimes we're called Cyclone, which was quite annoying. So that was the one area. And then the accounting part made people think that we are an accounting firm, which we aren't. We are a financial technology. So we're a product, we're a tool that enables businesses. But nonetheless, to explore a new market, and in that journey, I stumbled upon the name Nickel at White Sands Beach while I was chilling by myself. But that's a story for another day. So the birth of Nickel comes from my personal struggles, and how that came into picture was I started giving the tool, the web application, to friends, and friends loved it. I then shared it with some business and some customers I've obtained through Cylon Web Development, and they loved it. And then one of my mentors, Valerie Gary, she said, "Why don't you put a price to this?" And I did, and the price was extremely high, and some people actually paid for it, which was quite shocking. I think we're charging $100 a month. Nonetheless, mistakes of a rookie again, but we did drop our prices, and we are well underway. Nonetheless, so one thing I must emphasize for those that are in the call, especially the entrepreneurs, one thing that's really important is building a team. So I'm a sole founder. I've never actually found a co-founder because all my friends are doctors, engineers, lawyers, and all other stuff, but not entrepreneurs. And I feel that a founder should be a best friend, a good friend, someone you've actually worked with for at least 5 years. They would be the perfect recipe for founder. And unfortunately, I didn't have that person. But what I do have is a great team. And the team around me helps me execute. So without my team, I don't think I'd be even talking to anybody today. Probably still be wondering what I'm building. But nonetheless, so having a great team is one of the key ingredients. It's, I think, the most important ingredient, because these people have to be smarter than you, and they also have to have the drive and understand the vision to move forward. I mean, I wouldn't want to have a marketing manager that I'm smarter than. I think that wouldn't work well. So I do admit my team members are superstars, and I'm blessed to have them. Just for time's sake, I'll move on to the next point, which is networking, as Catherine also mentioned. So what happened is I started the journey, and I started alone, and then I got two other people in the Nickel phase. Before we even had funding, I was bootstrapping, and due to my networks that I was actually able to grow so fast. The first one was colleagues and friends from Startup Namibia. They got me into an accelerator program called Startup Wise Guys, a pre-accelerator, in fact. And it was my job to make sure that I got into the accelerator so the accelerator could fund us. I did my best, and we did get funding 6 months later, and we did get into the accelerator program, which really helped with understanding what a startup is, how to run a startup, how to manage finances, and a whole lot of other goodies. Thereafter started continued networking, and this networking helped us scale into 7 countries. So even though we're a year and 7 months old, we currently have customers in 7 countries, or is it 6, if I'm not mistaken? We'll see now on the pitch deck when I get to that slide. But nonetheless, it has helped us to scale, and we also attained a lot of awards. So last year alone, we attained 12 awards. And it got the attention of a huge company called AWS. For those that don't know the acronyms, it's Amazon Web Services. So I'm an ambassador for Amazon Web Services, and that alone has taken us miles. We're busy talking with some people in Mauritius now, and I think in the next 60 days we should have a partnership in Mauritius and be scaling in Mauritius as well, thus adding to our customers database. With the AWS award that I just mentioned, I'd love to, I know I didn't say this to the NIPDB team, but since I'm here, I'd love to give AWS credits to the startups that are pitching today, $5,000. So please hold me accountable. Do remind me. I will definitely reach out to the team in Washington, DC and make this happen. Yeah, so enough talking about boring old Jess. I'll dive into a bit of Nickel and just give a quick overview of what we're doing and how far we've come so far. Right, so 1 second. Right, there we go. So Nickel is a financial company that empowers business owners, women, youth with new technological tools, and I'll talk more about this. That's our mission. The problem that we are solving is that 65% of businesses in sub-Saharan Africa struggle accessing finance. And not only that, they struggle because they have lack of financial literacy. And also, if you look at more information, only 14% of SMEs in sub-Saharan Africa can actually access credit, which is quite ridiculous. Nonetheless, there are alternatives in the market. I'm sure everybody has heard of Zero, QuickBooks, Zoho, Wave, Sage. I mean, these are not new names. And what makes a startup unique is what you bring that should be different. If everybody has a black dress on, put on a red one. So nonetheless, what we're building is we're building a tool for Africans by Africans. So we are doing financial literacy to empower those so that they can access credit as well in the near future. We're empowering women and youth as they are the highest ignored communities. 62% of sub-Saharan women in Africa or households that are women-led live in poverty. And youth, I mean, looking at Namibia alone, 50% of youth is unemployed in South Africa. Don't want to go to there, but I'm sure we get the picture. Disable empowerment. So when I say disable empowerment, that means I'm talking about people with disadvantages, the blind, those that can't see, etc. And we're looking at opening access to credit. So we're doing access to credit with a few partners, and we will be giving credit ourselves in 2024 and 2025 to our customers because we will be able to credit score them. And we can only credit score with data. So if you don't have data, we will not go pull data from FNB or Bank Windhoek or ABSA or wherever. We'd love to collect this data ourselves because we give them financial literacy and we can actually train them so that we can give them credit and help them get from 0 to 1. Last but not least, we're also building artificial intelligence, which I will not dive much into because we will be launching it in about the next 120 days as of end of this month. Nonetheless, our solution is, as I've mentioned earlier, all those things above. One thing I did forget to mention is online payments. So Even though you're in Botswana and you send an invoice to someone in South Africa and you have access to PayPal or Stripe or etc., you can still receive your payment. Same goes with in South Africa, in whichever country. It's just Namibia that's a bit complicated with the pay gates, but we are integrating PayPals, which should enable Namibians to receive cash within each other. I'm not so sure about cross-border just yet, but Bank of Namibia is busy working on this, I believe. Moving forward, so the markets we're in, yes, it is 7 as accurate. So we're in 7 markets. We have customers in Zambia, Tanzania, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Rwanda, Zimbabwe. And we're looking at having customers from Mauritius in the next few months to come. As I've said, this is not my pitch. I just wanted to give you an idea of what we're building. Again, our model is a SaaS B2B. So we have a freemium with the features at the bottom. We then have a standard at 80 rands, Namibian dollars, and that goes for $5 globally. And also 180 Namibian rands or Namibian dollars, sorry, 180 rands or Namibian dollars, and that goes for $10 cross board, but the features are below as well. Usually those on the premium are the ones that get access to credit due to all the reporting and the tools that they can use to obtain this. Nonetheless, that's my details for those that would love to reach out and talk some more. Thank you for this opportunity again, and all the best to the entrepreneurs pitching today. It's not easy. It takes a lot of will and grit, and most importantly, I like using this weird phrase. I know it will sound weird, but be a potato. Okay. The reason I say that is because a potato is the only plant that can grow in the darkness, and sometimes it's in the darkness that you come out and shed light. But nonetheless, thank you, and we shall meet again.
Great. Thank you very much, Jess, and thank you for leaving us with those words. I think, yeah, that was very encouraging and inspiring. And I think it's always so funny to me how entrepreneurs build something and get shocked when people want to buy it and they make a success of it. I always find that so interesting, and just the psychology of entrepreneurship. But as we've said, it does take an ecosystem to build an entrepreneur. And so I'm sure Nickel has had a really great ecosystem supporting them, and considering the partnership as well with AWS, we will make sure we won't forget to get those credits out to our entrepreneurs. So we will hold you very accountable, Jess. But thank you very much once again. And so everyone, next up, we have our stars of the show, really. We will now be showcasing our entrepreneurs. So please be advised before we begin that due to some connectivity issues and some internet difficulties, there may be some delays in the pitches that you see, but please be patient with us. Each entrepreneur will have 5 minutes to pitch, which will be followed by a 2-minute Q&A from our judges and audience. But before we hear from our entrepreneurs, I'd like for us just to find out who our judges are. And so I will begin with some introductions from the judges. And so if the judges in the room could just unmute themselves and introduce themselves. A short intro is okay. Just an introduction to who you are, where you're joining from, maybe what you're looking forward to about today's pitches, and then we will begin with our pitches.
Thanks, Nani. I'll dive right in. Hello, everybody. My name is Grace Lorodi, dialing in from Cape Town. A real pleasure and honor to be here and sort of see the progress. I was most recently a consultant at the World Bank for the last 2 years and part of the founding team of, really with the partnership with the CSIR, with the revamp of the Innovation Bridge portal. And I miss you all dearly, and really great to see all the progress has been made to date, and really looking forward to seeing all the entrepreneurs and how they've grown over the past year or so. And so with that, thank you very much for having me.
Right. Thank you very much, Grace. We'll hand over to the judges in the room. Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Beatrice Schultz. I'm an executive mentor. I help leaders find their voice through personal branding. So what I do is that I work together with companies to implement mentorship programs in order to help them implement their diversity and inclusion programs.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Etuna Hango. My professional background's in private equity, but I was once a founder as well. Really excited to hear what the entrepreneurs have in store for us today.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Gerald Dreyer, and I'm a consultant in capacity building and market access here at the NIPDB. And yeah, I'm also really excited for today to hear all the pitches, and really honored to be here.
Great. Thank you very much to our judges. We're excited to have you here and thank you very much for joining us. And so I think we can get right into it and start with our entrepreneur pitches. And so first we will be hearing from Bruno from Moon Sachs Investments. And Bruno, I think we will start with you. So Lucy, over to you.
Hi, my name is Bruno Imwena, the founder of Moon Snacks, a startup that is disrupting the local snack food industry while promoting sustainable food production and food security in my country. The Namibian snack food industry is flooded with imported snack products that are mostly overpriced and make up roughly 90% of all snack products on the Namibian shelves. Despite our country's goal of becoming a food secure nation through Vision 2030, our value addition industry still lags far behind in terms of adding value to most of our agricultural produce. A good example of this is peanuts, which we export over 150 tons annually in raw form to South Africa and then import them back in the form of value-added snack products under a variety of brands such as Simba and Safari, just to name a few. And most of what is produced by local small-scale farmers is sold on the informal market with little to no value addition. Our solution to this problem is both simple, effective, and very tasty. At Moon Snacks, we source raw peanuts locally from small-scale farmers and add value and put them through our value addition process to turn them into delicious, crunchy peanut burgers, which are professionally packaged, branded, and sealed. What is a peanut burger, you ask? Well, this is basically a peanut wrapped in a biscuit to create a delicious and crunchy tasty snack. Our mission here at Moon Snacks is to create proudly Namibian-sourced snack products with value added to provide better nutrition for our consumers, greater income for our farmers, and access to formal and export markets, starting with the peanut burgers. Our unique value proposition is our close proximity to the market, and as such, we do not add any preservatives to our products, which gives them a greater taste compared to other imported brands, which have to add preservatives to the products in order to make them last long at the expense of their taste, nutritional value, and texture in the mouth. We are also one of a few Namibian companies producing and packaging snacks locally. Our snack products are also unique in terms of our production process and also the ingredients we use to create them. Our go-to-market strategy has been to sell directly to consumers to our biggest customer segment, which is consumers on the go, which are mostly taxi drivers around the city. We have also resolved to selling online, making them easy and fast to buy for consumers all over the country. We also attend market days and festivals such as Kasi Vibe and Collector Market, where we introduce our peanut burgers to consumers, to potential consumers, and get feedback on our products, which has been overwhelming thus far. Since going to market with our MVP product late last year, we have raised over 70,000 in grant fundings through competitions, and we have also done over 60,000 Namibian dollars in sales in over a period of 6 months, selling over 18,000 packets. We've also been recognized by the NIPDB Namibia with an Excellence Award. Our projected growth is that in the next 6 to 12 months, we project to enter the shelf in big supermarkets such as ShopRite and Checkers, and also start to export to South Africa. We are also finalizing our MVP product and launch with the packaging, with new packaging, new flavors, and greater quality of our product. Our team is made up of 3 employees, including myself, and we have varying degrees of expertise in business management, food production, quality control, and building brands that are relatable and impactful. We are all driven by the fact that we are building a startup that is one of a kind in Namibia, one of the first, and that will be impactful to our economy and to consumers. We are asking for 380,000 for 20% equity as a safe agreement. 350,000 will be used to set up a semi-automatic production facility, which will allow us to meet the demand of our product and at the same time produce a product with consistent taste, texture, and quality. The rest of the money, it will be used for completing our MVP stage and getting the necessary certification to get into big supermarkets such as Checkers and Shoprite. We are also hoping to gain mentors and other industry experts and networks that will help us build our brand into a successful business. This investment will project to have a return of over 20 million in the next 5 years. Thank you.
Great, perfect. Thank you very much, Bruno. And now, of course, we will be moving on to our Q&A from the judges. So just as a reminder, everyone will get 2 minutes to answer questions. This is another skill added to the art of pitching. And so I will now hand over to our judges. If you have any questions, please go ahead.
I think that's us.
Yes.
All right, I think I can kick us off, Bruno. Thanks a lot for your presentation. I just wanted to ask, from a supply side, from a supply side constraint, you mentioned that, part of the investment will be
Hello?
Bruno, we're just getting sound back.
Okay. Can you guys hear me?
All right, there we go. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, Mr. Etuna, can you please repeat the question because the sound was gone there for a minute? Hello?
Judges, if you could kindly repeat your question. We did lose sound in your room for a minute there.
Hello, Mr. Etuna, can you please repeat the question? I didn't get it.
I don't think they can hear us in the room.
Okay, Grace, you go with your question.
Sure. So I guess a small question on my side. So you're funding at the moment. Do you really need your production facility? Really well done on your traction to date. So I can only but have to ask how you have managed to basically get into production and get post MVP sort of to date.
Hi, Ms. Grace. Thank you for the question. We started with the production. We used to do very physically. We used to do most of the production with our hands with just a small instrument that we had at home, and then we used to go to sell directly, and then through that we generated some money, and also through competition we generated some money, and then we scaled our production from about 50 packets a day to currently we're at around about our installed production capacity is around about 300 packets a day, and that one we just most of the machine we acquired through the money that we got through sales, and also through grant competitions and all of that.
And really on that tenacity, really impressive.
Yeah, we were hoping for this new investment. If we get an investment to increase our production capacity to over 20,000 packets a day.
Got it. And then as you envisage, growing big, have you thought of, as you, doing direct to consumer on, by yourself at the moment and online, maybe getting into any partnerships with, food producers, like your Tiger brands, etc., that can sometimes maybe even help you scale? That's the last question for me.
Our time is up.
Oh.
Our time is up, but I think because of our technical difficulty there, Bruno, I will allow you just a few seconds to answer that question, and then we will move on to the next pitch.
Okay, yeah, thank you for the question. Yes, we have considered partnering with our distributors, especially when now that we are working towards getting to the big supermarkets such as Spar and ShopRite. We are not in talks yet, but it's in our plans to talk to distributors so that they can help us reach a wider, more shops, and also eventually reach our towns that are 1,000 kilometers away from our production facility in Windhoek. Thank you.
Great, perfect. Thank you very much, Bruno, and well done. And thank you very much, Grace, there. Just to double check with the room, are we able to get through to the judges now? All right, I think we can move on to our next pitch. I think they may not be able, we may not be able to hear them, but I do think that they can hear us. And so Lucy, over to you. We will be now hearing from TN African Retail and Investment, founded by Teresia Nangolo.
Okay, while we wait for the room to come back on so that they can do the judging themselves, we have any questions that we have anybody so far from the room? I think there were some that put up their hand earlier or some in the chat. So feel free to ask any questions just while we wait for the room to come back on so they're able to judge the next videos. So
now
feel free to jump on.
Entrepreneurs, any questions whatsoever, put up your hand. We've got Grace on, we've got Cameron on. There is an operational one, if the team can just answer that one. You've got some great entrepreneurial minds on the call, so make use of. So this is the true spirit of an entrepreneur, right? If there's a gap, take it. And the gap is now we're trying to get the judges back on sound. So any questions whatsoever, please feel free to ask them. There was one earlier on about, I think it was, here we go. It was a bit earlier, Retabile. That was from Lesotho. Welcome to the call. A founder of Re-Eco Products. I recycle plastic bottles for making bricks and blocks, but the problem, I don't have money to buy machinery for making tire roofing and floor tiles. I do recycling foamer packs for making paint. Is there any way I will get funding? Is Retabile still on the call?
Yes, hello.
Hello, thank you very much for getting that comment through. That was fantastic and well done for doing that. Every time we have a saying in the business, ABS, always be selling. So, but just by doing that, your product was called. So I would highly recommend that you make sure that you have product market fit. I'm sure Cameron would have taken you through that. And once you have that, make sure that product market fit, and many entrepreneurs don't want to hear this. If it's B2C, my question is always, have you spoken to at least 250 potential customers? And if it's B2B, my question is always, have you spoken to at least 50 potential customers? And only then get to a point where you would be able to know what the size of the prize would be to get funding. So that would be my advice. Have we got the room back on?
Okay. We also had a raised hand earlier from Mansamela, so I'm not sure if there was a question or why that hand was raised.
Morning.
Hi there. We can't really hear you very clearly.
We have to show the MVPs that we have. This is an MVP.
Oh, so sorry. Maybe you can type in the chat because we're not able to hear you very clearly.
Okay.
Thank you. Type that in the chat for us. We are battling to hear you. Another thing I wanted to add whilst we wait, and as soon as you have typed it, we will answer your question. Another thing, so to all the entrepreneurs on the call, you may know this, you may not. Remember, those funders or financiers you ask money from all have different mandates. So you have to know who you're asking which money for. In other words, if it's a debt funder, of course, there won't be equity involved. If it's a seed funder, you need to understand what type of instrument they would give money to you to. So our advice always is I know it may sound very silly or very difficult, take the money as late as you can, find the customers as early as you can. Because the point is that if you take money too early, you'll give too big of a piece of your business away too early. So just make sure that you know that. Okay, so there we go. So there's a question online. Do we have to showcase our MVPs in the pitch? I don't know if you're specifically speaking about this pitch or not, but it depends on always. So what you show always depends on the timing you have allocated for a pitch, the actual audience that you're pitching to. Are you asking for money or are you asking customers? So are you selling to sell to a customer or are you asking for funding? That's another big thing. But MVP, if you're selling product, and then you have to be honest. And we're building one of the products that we have, we're at MVP, and I would always say to the potential customer, this product currently is at MVP. So as to manage expectation. If you're asking for funding, it's even more important to let the funder know you are now at MVP and that you need money. And typically your use of funds will then be to further develop product, to further do market testing or whatever the case may be. But it is always important to let the customer or the funder, depending on the pitch, know at what level your product is. Okay, if we don't have the room back on, do we have the room back on? Then we will just go to our secondary judges as our second plan.
Okay. I can see they have joined the call, so perhaps just reconnecting with their camera, so hopefully they can hear us. But they are now on the call again, but we can continue with the next.
Okay, so fantastic. Any other questions? Alternatively, we will go. So just for the startups and the entrepreneurs who are pitching, don't stress. We have a plan B if there was technical difficulty with 2 further judges in the pipes. So they are reconnecting. Okay, we'll just give them a little bit of more time. Right. Any other questions?
Can you guys hear us?
Yay. Yes, we can.
Lovely.
Perfect. Can you see us?
Yes, we can see you. So we didn't get any of Bruno's answers. Essentially, we couldn't hear you guys. So we can't score him. So unless we could do it again or perhaps later on.
So what we will recommend is that, Grace online asked a couple of questions. What we would recommend in your deliberations, if you can then just touch base with Grace.
All right.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Perfect. So over to the next one. Thank you so much, everybody, for your patience.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Teresa Nangolo, the founder of TN African Retail and Investments. I am a successful entrepreneur. I have 3 businesses. I have only been going for 2 years, and I'm currently already employing 9 full-time employees and 1 part-time. I have a bakery, a logistics business, and I am currently into farming, and that is what I am here to tell you about. I need to commercialize my farm. I have a bakery that I started in 2021. We are already supplying big retailers who are Spars, Boomenbrock, as well as Agra. We also managed to acquire vendor contracts with them, employing 4 full-time employees in the bakery, and we are currently now looking into, of course, branching out to more shops as well as towns in Namibia. I also have a logistics business, which I mainly got to transport my baking products around. We started last year, and of course, we already acquired delivery contracts with Highway Corporation Namibia, as well as Walls Construction. Now, of course, in this business, we are already employing 2 full-time employees. So this has been my traction as well as sales for the past 2 years on these 2 very successful businesses. Now, I am here to tell you about my farming venture. I have a very small farm in Khababas, which I started last year. And with this farm, I'm already employing 4 full-time employees who are currently the residents of Khababas. So basically what it is, we are already selling our produce to the local vendors of Khababas as well as Vintuk. We are now also looking we are currently also farming with poultry, chickens to be specific, because we use a lot of eggs in the bakery. Now, in future, of course, we are looking into venturing into agri-processing, where we will be now processing our own produce and selling them to retailers, wholesalers, and in future also be able to export them. But for now, I just want to grow products and sell them as a commercial farmer. Now, of course, the problem with the farm is that it is a very small-scale farm, which is not economically viable, and we need equipment and as well as now skilled labor to farm commercially. And so what it is that I need to make this farm professional, and I need to make it commercial at the moment. So our business model is vertical integration, where we produce the eggs that go into the bakery and we transport the baked goods with my truck. But then we are now also looking into growing crops, or we are also now growing crops and other things that are going to, or that we are going to supply as well as now sell. So hence our business model is a commercial farm where we grow, manufacture, sell, and expand into agri-processing in the future. So this is my management team. I got a very experienced team as well now as a qualified team running these 3 businesses. Now that is me, Teresa Nangolo, the founder and managing director of the company, which is TN African Retail and Investments. We do have our director of logistics, Mr. Fidel Castro. We as well have our bakery manager, Ms. Reginald Harman, as well as now our farm manager, Mr. Ndianale Mbako. So these are the faces and the minds behind TN African Retail and Investments. So we are looking for $100,000 as a safe note. And with that, we will be needing to buy equipment and machinery. We do need to put in a large irrigation system. We do have access to water, to free water, but it's just that we need to get it into the field. We do need storage rooms, we need factories. We also need solar panels to reduce our electricity cost, as well as now, of course, working labor, capital for seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides, and so forth. With this, I thank you very much.
Great, perfect. Thank you very much, Teresa. And so I will just check with our judges in the room if you are ready to ask your questions.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yes. All right, perfect. So I will start the 2 minutes now then. And yeah, if we can have our judges' questions for the entrepreneur.
Maybe just to start, could you just briefly summarize for us, in 20 seconds or less, what you do exactly?
So I am an entrepreneur. So basically what I have is I have a bakery and I supply to the retail shops that are Spars and Vintuk, and the women blocks, as well as now Kahanja and Agra, and a few corporate clients as well that we have. And also now I also have a logistics business that I co-founded with my partner. And with that, we are also now, we acquired contracts with Hi-Fi Corporation, as well as a few construction companies, and as well as moving people in out of Benton. And also now what brought me here is to now venture into agriculture. So basically what it is that I have a very small scale farm, which I'm trying to now commercialize. So basically what I need is I need to extend it. I do have land, and what I'm trying to look into now is trying to have capital to help me now, of course, fund this business, and also try to now have it running. So which is our commercial farm. So that is basically what I'm into currently now. I'm trying to commercialize my farm.
Okay, cool. So I guess my question essentially is, what do you plan to grow on this farm? And also, have you identified potential off-takers or markets for these products already?
Yes, basically what I'm going to be growing on here is cash crops. So basically that is veggies and fruits, of course, and of course I already have a market. So because I'm already supplying to the stores, to the women blocks, chickens. So basically those are going to be my off-takers. So that is my market, and I'm also looking to expand it into more markets. And also now, of course, in future, also be able to export as well. By the markets we do have market availability.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is the farm located? And when you say cash crops and fruits, could you narrow that down? And do you have visibility on the microclimates, the soil analyses, the water availability, and whether the area in which your farm is located is suitable to grow those particular crops?
Okay, so really good question. My farm is located in Kobakus. It is a very small farm. I'm currently
All right, time is up. And thank you very much, Teresa, and thank you very much to our judges. I will now move on to our next entrepreneur who will be pitching, and this is Sanco Investment Namibia, founded by Sunny Okala. So Lucy, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sunny Okala. I am the founder and the director of Sanco Investment Namibia CC. I'm here to present Sanco Printing and Copy Shop business plan. All about Sanco Investment Namibia CC. We are an SME solution provider company based in Ochimose, Windhoek. Our solutions include printing and digital solution services, green energy services, project management, and marine services. But for this proposal, we are focusing on our printing and digital solution services. Problem and opportunities we saw before we venture into this business. Unemployment, poverty, and inequality have been on the increase in local communities of Namibia today, as the people lack technological tools to gain employment and empowerment. Residents of Ochimose community, northwestern Windhoek, need to walk up to 10 kilometers to the city to conduct their business affairs such as CV typing, online meetings, online applications, even computer training. For this reason, we established a printing and internet computer training center in the Ochimose community. We have a prime location next to the Chinese High School, Ochimose Clinic, Ochimose Primary School, and Ochimose Police Station. All these institutions are where we draw our customers on a daily basis. This map shows exactly what we are talking about. Here is Ochimose community. Our people need to walk down to this area where we have the Windhoek Central before they can conduct their business affairs. But right now, we have established a printing center in this Frankfurt Street at the moment now, and makes life easier for our people. Our solutions. We established Sanco Printing and Copy Shop in April 2022 to provide excellent services in printing and digital solutions. We offer the following services: printing of posters, flyers, t-shirts, customer-oriented services, such as assisting customers in job finding, job creation, preparing the right CV and job interviews, typing of all kinds of documents, scanning, online meetings, preparation, and all that, even job creations. We only establish in our copy shop, we establish a free weekly job vacancies publications where our people come on a daily basis to assist job vacancies. We equally have a training class and also a language class. This is where our premises are at the moment. This is the front view of our office. Here is the side view, and this side are the inside view of the coffee shop at the moment. Our constraint: we are currently using old internet router, which gives poor internet services at all times. We only have only 2 printers, second-hand desktops, and laptops. Our building needs to be reconstructed to avoid breaks in and also to make it more professional. My purpose: the people of my community lack quality internet and printing services, including technology needed for employment and empowerment. My aim is to create a digital solution center for job creation, job findings, and expression of arts and ideas through printing. Our vision is to access to technology empowers ideas, and we intend to achieve this through excellent services. My exit plan: to hand over a legacy exit, and hand over excellent business to my family. Our team made up of professionals, qualified individuals from all various of life who are qualified to take care of this business. Competitive analysis: Sonko printing shop is competing with 2 bigger giants in the Windhoek Central Town. They include Dream Print and Blueprint Namibia CC. The strength we have is very excellent because our location gives us more strength. Opportunity: the location is giving us more opportunities, and also the growing population of the area. Threat: bigger printing companies such as this one I mentioned in Windhoek Town. Our services, our customer service is the best in town. Anywhere in Windhoek, they talk about our services. Our prices are also the best in town at the moment. Sales cash flow projections: in 2022, we made over $12,000, and we project to have $30,000 in 2023. 2024, we are planning to make over $40,000. 2025, over $60,000. This is possible once we have the right equipment on ground, because we only intend to establish more centers in and outside Windhoek. Our ask is for $30,000 equity funding. We are prepared to dilute our shareholding by 10% via self-agreement to purchase the following equipment and upgrade our business center, like printers, laptop, reconstruct our office building, and also buy stationaries for resale and also for operational materials.
All right, excellent. Thank you very much, Sunny. And now we will hand over to our judges. I will start with the judges in the room and then hand over to Grace Lugodi online if there are any additional questions. And so to the judges in the room, your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you so much for that. So my question to you is, how do you plan to address the potential risks and challenges that may arise in your industry, especially currently the area in which your company is based, rain, and all those things? How do you?
Okay, that's why we are now asking for this funding for us to. We want to get an office container. That one is more stronger. That is well equipped. Everything needed. So we have already made the notation and everything. Just if that is funding, we want to get it, but it's more secure than what we have now.
I think from my side, it's just from a competitive edge perspective. I didn't really pick it up through the presentation, but what is it that will make this business unique? I mean, printing isn't the most complex business, and the barriers to entry, I believe, wouldn't be too high. So what is it that would, if anyone else wants to start a competitor, would keep your business profitable?
Okay, thank you so much. Only this, we created something we call business community services. It's unique. What we do is we provide solution one-on-one to our customers. Because those people in these communities, their problem is lack of technological tools. They don't have smartphones, they don't have laptops, and even the ones in schools, the primary schools, secondary, come on a daily basis for assignments. So we do these things for them. And also those who are looking for job, unemployment is now high in the local communities. So we provided that weekly job vacancy there for them to come. They come on a daily basis, and we have received so many testimonies. So Simon, you read this, they come and hold me and say they are not working in social place. So we do that. Those primary school learners, they come on database to search for assignments online. We do those things and then print it out for them in color because the whole of that Oshimos, they don't have a color printed shop. It's only us at the moment.
Okay, thank you. In the last few seconds, how did you get to the 10%?
All right, our time is up. Our time is up. Thank you very much, judges, and thank you very much. And now we will hand over to our next entrepreneur who will be pitching, which is Henuka Agriculture, founded by Gabriel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Shilongo. I'm the managing director and founder of Henuka Agriculture. Henuka Agriculture is a baby company of Henuka Investment, which deals in other businesses as well. But today here, I'm pitching on the agricultural part of the business. And the investor who is going to invest in us today here will not only get shares in agricultural part, but will get shares in the whole Henuka investment. Henuka Agriculture, we started growing crops for home consumption until we get demand from the neighbors and around the village started growing. And then that's prompted us to consider the fact that we have access to free water, access to fertile land, but we still have people, cases of malnutrition in the village, people going to bed on a hungry stomach. That's prompted us to do agriculture as a business while trying to solve a problem at the same time. Henuka Agriculture is an agricultural startup in its very early stages, but we focus more on horticulture, and we are not limited to horticulture. So we are planning on going into maize mill and mahangu, which we are going to package and resell, branding as well. Chicken farming, pig farming, storage facility, and a fresh produce shop, which will be in Ongwediva at a property which is owned by Henuka Agriculture. So we won't be having rent cost at all. All we need to do is renovate it a bit and equip it well for a storage facility, which is not only going to store our produce, but also produce for other farmers, as well as other farmers in our village are experiencing problems of their produce rotting before they make it to the market. Food security and unemployment is what we are trying to solve. Namibia has only a population of 2.5 million people, but 1.6 million people of Namibia are living in poverty. We import 60% of what we consume, which doesn't have to be the case if we can produce our own food. I, as a young Namibian, I'm obliged to change the situation in my country. Would like simply by growing food for the nation, employing the youth, as well as improving the nutritional status of the nation at affordable prices. The business model that we use is business to consumers, selling to other businesses and other business selling to consumer. Business to consumer, which is us selling straight to the consumer at the shop that we're going to open up in Ongwediva. Business to business, which is us, like for example, our chicken farming will sell it to hotels and restaurants. The unique value proposition that we have is the fact that we have access to free water. Free water, our land is alongside the canal, and the government made provisions for everybody with water, with land alongside the canal to make use of the water for free. Our produce are straight from the farm, straight from the farm to the client's stomach. So it's fresh. And yeah. Currently, we are only using 2 hectares of land because of limited resources. So if we get the funds that you are seeking for here today, we'll be able to make at least, if we operate on full capacity, we'll be able to make at least $10,000 revenue per hectare, depending on how many hectares we utilize. And this is only on horticulture. Put in mind that we have other businesses as well. So the revenue will be sustainable here. The thing that we have is me, Gabriel Shilongo. I'm the managing director and I own 100% shares of the company, which I'm willing to dilute here today. I have Hassan Benjani, general manager, Mr. Johannes Shilongo, my father, who is the chief operations officer, Maria Shilongo, who is the chief financial officer. And we have 5 general workers who are permanent. In times when we are harvesting or maybe weeding, when we need more people, we do employ people on the short contracts just for that particular job, and sometimes pay them monetarily or pay them with the produce that we produce. What we are asking for here today is a funding of 130,000 US dollars for when we are willing to dilute our equity by 20% shares. So the funding will be used to create new income streams, will be used to buy machinery and a tractor, will be used to set up a greenhouse so that we also grow some crops off season as well, will be used to set up a solar powered irrigation system. This will really save us on cost, on petrol cost and electrical cost, and for operations as well. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gabriel Shilongo. Thank you very much for your time.
Great. Thank you very much, Gabriel. That was great. And so I will hand over back to our judges. And so judges, your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you. Just a quick question. Have you launched the business already? Started operating?
Yes, we currently supply Spa, phase out fresh produce, rebranded Fresh Corner, supply Amta, yeah, and then all the open markets in the world.
Okay, cool. So that's good. So my question around that is, so you mentioned that you supply them now, but then what is your market strategy, or how do you plan to onboard more takers or retailers?
If for now, we all our produce we sell them out. But if we happen to operate on a bigger scale, we happen to produce more, then we are planning on going into other markets as well. That's all. It's important to win because transporting to win.
Okay, so right now we know that Namibia has an overproduction of tomatoes, for example. So how does your agricultural product or service differentiate itself from traditional or existing methods in the industry?
Currently, with the overproduction of tomatoes, it happens because most of the people, like in our side, the time that I grow tomatoes, everyone is growing tomatoes, and then we find ourselves everyone with tomatoes. That's why I came up with a storage facility initiative so that we can store our produce before they get rotten. We can store them. And I also happened to meet somebody from South Africa recently who dried the tomatoes and turn them into a soup or something like that. So our remaining tomatoes, we can dry them up and then we export them to South Africa so they can be turned into soup.
Thank you.
How long have you been in operation for, and how much revenue has the business generated to date?
We started this, as I said, we started professionally. We started around 2018. So to date, we collected revenue of about, for all the 3 years, of more than $1 million.
All right. And our time is up. Thank you very much, judges, and thank you very much, Gabriel, as well. We will move on to our next entrepreneur, which is Vibe Media, and this is founded by Vaino Eshumba. And so, Lucy, over to you.
Yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vaino Eshumba, and I'm the founder of Vibe Media. At Vibe Media, we take advantage of powerful camera sensors and mobility of aerial drones to inspect and collect data for agricultural purposes. Here is a picture of a drone. The question is, what comes to your mind when you see this picture? Some people may just say it's a nice toy. Others may feel a little bit concerned about their privacy and security. At Vibe Media, we see the future of agricultural inspection and data correction. The problem we have identified in the market is that there's a big gap between finding problems in the field and applying solutions. We also found that farmers spend more money on fertilizer and pesticide than necessary, and they are not making the most of available resources such as water and land. Our solution is to identify stress factors like pest and lack of water in time, guide farmers' decision to improve efficiency, and plan area-specific fertilizer and crop protection application depending on plant needs. We also help them get insight with live map. How does this work? Let's say, for example, you have a 10-hectare field that you want to inspect. It will only take us just under 10 minutes to set up the drone and prepare the drone for the flight. Then it will take the drone 17 minutes to cover the whole area. Then it will take us another 30 minutes to process the data on the computer and 5 minutes for data analysis. And this whole process will just take 1 hour and 2 minutes, which is incredible. How do we make money out of this? We charge our customer a service fee of $25, where 25% goes to operating cost, and we take 75% profit. Here is our primary revenue stream, which include crop inspection, spraying and seeding, and other inspection. We also have secondary revenue stream, which is stock photos and videos, and area photography and videography, which mostly required by content creators. We are also looking to make revenue from data-related sales in the near future. We have estimated the market to be around 28 million in Namibia and 3.4 million in Umsati region where we are operating, and we are targeting 1.3 million in our first year of full operation. We only got our first customer in September 2022, and currently we have 6 paying customers which have contributed to $950 in revenue, and we are expecting our customers to grow exponentially as we start fully operating. Below is some of the companies that we have worked with so far. When we did our market research, we couldn't find any drone company that's operating in the agricultural sector. But here are some of the drone companies in Namibia and what they specialize in, which means that our only competitor now will be our own customers, which are farmers who will continue to use traditional way of doing things. We are seeking for $200 investment, and this is how it's going to spend, and more than 50% will be spent on equipment and service development. Here is our team. As you can see, our team is very small, continuing of me and Vino. And here is our current bureau, is our current human resources needs. And this is one of the main reasons why we need more investment. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much. And now I will hand over to our judges, but this time I think we can start with Grace Lechodi, who's joining us online. So Grace, I will hand over to you, and your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you, Nani. I'll keep it brief. So just quick question on my side is, you have 6 paying customers. How many drones do you have at the moment? And with the ask, how many drones are you looking to employ? And didn't see anything around how you're maintaining an insurance on the drones. So if you could just answer those 2 questions for me.
Currently, we have 1 professional drone. We've been looking into buying another one just recently, but came out that it's not available in Namibia right now. And with the money that we are asking for, we want to buy 6 agricultural drones, 3 sprayer drones, and 3 multi-spectral drones.
All right. I think, can I continue? So my question is, you said you make 75% profit based on what you asked. So from a competitive analysis, how did you come to that price, and based on also what your competitors charge? And I also do beg to differ that there are some of the drone providers who also offer agricultural services. Yes.
Yeah, the profit margin can even get bigger once it just depends on operating cost of that day. Let me say if I go to one crop field where it's just 1 hectare, so then you get 75, that's 75%. If you go to another one who is having, let me say, 200 hectares, so your operating cost will be a little bit small because you have just a lot of hectares to do it in one day. So that's why it's like that. But it can even be more.
Next.
Okay. So how do you stay up to date with the latest regulations and compliance requirements related to drone operations in the agricultural sector?
All right, our time is up. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for the questions, and thank you very much as well to Vibe Media for answering those. And I think we will move on to our final entrepreneur pitching for the day. And that will be Sondaha Nuyuni Sales and Marketing, which is founded by Sondaha Nuyuni. And yeah, we are ready for our final pitch.
It is every SME's goal to get recognized and drive sales within their organization. Hi, my name is Sondaha Nuyuni, CEO and proud founder of SN Sales and Marketing Agency. At SN Sales and Marketing Agency, we are focused on creating growth opportunities for SMEs and corporates in Namibia, which contribute so greatly to our economy. Namibia has very creative and innovative SMEs that produce market fit products, but there is a limited market access for these SMEs in Namibia to have their products trade on international and local markets. Now we provide opportunities for these SMEs to have these products on local shelves and international shelves, and also help them build a brand. Our business model is pretty simple. It's business to business and a business to customers. Currently, we have 7 clients, of which 2 are large corporates such as Spar and the local merchants, and 5 being our SMEs such as Yetu Tea, which they make Moringa tea, and then Nam Delights, Nickel, and as well as the people that we find in the communities that have exceptional skills that we use to make a product that we put out in the shop, in the retail shops. Now, from our operation day of June 2022 to date, we have managed to make a revenue of about $150,000. We have so far direct clients and indirect clients, and aside from all of those, we have 5 temporary staff members that are able to deliver high quality services to our customers. Our go-to-market strategy is pretty unique and simple. We access the market through the government and private entities, such as programs run by NIPDB. We enroll and we get to meet new SMEs that we can connect with, and we also access the market through our social media pages. We also get referrals from our existing direct clients to our prospects. We are very much aware that we have competitors such as Mammoth Promotions, Africa Marketing, TST Marketing. But the difference between them and us is that we are focused on growing locally produced goods and services and taking them abroad and international levels, while they are focused on bringing products that are produced abroad into Namibia. We are asking for 100,000, of which we definitely will have our operation system, station, our branded material, and also we ask for mentorship programs. So these are programs that help us improve our skills as a business, so that we provide even better opportunities for the SMEs that we are trying to train. And we also ask for exposure, such as business expos that take place, so that we see how business is being done, how SMEs are being supported in other countries, that we can perhaps also try and do in our country. Our management team is made of the CEO, our Chief Marketing Officer, Mr. Ronald Mutakela, and our Project Manager, Ms. Helena Shifotoka. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for listening. If you have questions, please do go ahead.
Excellent. Thank you, Sondaha. And so, yeah, as you said, if there are any questions from the judges, please do go ahead. I will begin the 2-minute timer starting now.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can you please explain the actual problem or the need that your product or service addresses in the market?
All right. So first of all, we are not having a full database, or let's say full information on the SMEs that we can actually help. And secondly, we need finances. Like I said, we need a team. We need a place where we, an office, for instance, because if we are going to be supporting these SMEs, we are going to need probably a warehouse where we just stock their products and then we sell to our clients, because then we'll be like a distributor between the SMEs and the clients, you understand? So right now it's a thing of we need to be in touch with these SMEs, different SMEs. We don't know how many other clients, SMEs that we can actually help, because we only have a few, you know, because we believe that if we actually get exposed, that's why we are asking for exposure, so that we know which SMEs can we really help, because we are so aware that there are market fit products in Namibia, but we need them to go to the markets. Yes.
All right. So my question is, what is your unique selling point? Why should they choose you? And also, how do you help them?
Okay, let's start with how do I help them. Okay, so we are a sales and marketing company, like I said. We provide marketing services for these SMEs. So not only do we put their products on the shelves, we make sure that their brand is recognized, they're developing a brand, and as well help them drive sales within their organization. So now the difference here is, look, if an SME comes to us, we offer our sales services. We go out in the shop, we see, okay, this product is close to expiry. You need to remove it. We need to do claims on the products that they.
Our time is up. Great. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, it always feels so terrible cutting off people as they're answering questions, but we do have to be strict with these pitches. So very strict with them, but thank you very much to you all, and congratulations to all of our founders that pitched so well. That did go great, and thank you to our judges as well for your feedback. And so this is an opportunity for our judges to go and deliberate. And as luck would have it, in South Africa, our time is 11:11. This is a very lucky time if you believe in angel numbers and numerology. So entrepreneurs, make your wishes now. And hopefully you will be winning that prize. But thank you to everyone once again for your patience. And judges, I think I will now let you go ahead and deliberate. You will let us know once you are back. But for now, I will hand over to my colleague, Sam, Program Manager at Think Room, who will be taking you through a group activity and just getting that interaction up within the group as we wait for our judges to come back with who our final winners are. So Sam, over to you.
Thank you so much, Noni, and well done to all of our entrepreneurs. It was great to hear all of your pitches live in person. So thank you so much, everybody. So we've got a little bit of an energizer activity, just a fun little questionnaire. I have popped the link and the code in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then you will be able to see. So if I could just get a thumbs up from you, Noni, if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, great. So if everybody could go to www.menti.com, and then once you have got to that website, you can do that either with your laptop or your phone. You can punch in the code 63347909. Once you are on the platform, you can press the little heart icon in the bottom right corner just to let me know that you are in the room. I see we've got one person on the platform so far. So I see there are odd 70 people on the call. So this number hopefully is going to jump. And I think this is pretty exciting that we're doing this knowing while our judges are deliberating. I see we've got 5 people on the platform. So again, that's menti.com, MENTI.com. And the code is 63347909. I have popped that in the chat in case anybody just wants to copy and paste. So I see we've got 10 people in, so we will just give you another minute or two to see if anybody else wants to join our fun little activity. We're not going to ask you to do anything, so don't worry. It's just a little fun online game, little energizer activity, shall we call it. Okay, so just for the last time, that's menti.com, menti.com, and the code is 63347909.
Sam, I was thinking now it's a pity that none of us can read lips, because now we can see what the judges are talking about in the room. So good thing they're on mute. But it would be good to see a fly on the wall.
It would be great, wouldn't it, Lucy? If only some of us could read minds.
Exactly. So we're sending those 11-11 vibes out there.
Absolutely. Okay, we've got 27 people, I think, on the platform, so we will get going. So just watch your screens and follow on as we go. Okay, 28, one last. That's awesome. If there's anybody else, you can still log on, and you will just join us as wherever we're at in the activity. Okay, so if you could just pop in your answer in the text box. Which city are you from? Let's see where all our guests are from today, which I think will be a cool activity to know. At Windhoek, Josie, we got Pretoria, Cape Town, Windhoek. Oh, I said Miss Windhoek. Mafeking, Gaborone, Belfast Bay is on there, Lesotho. NA, is that a city, or are you saying not applicable, I wonder?
I think that's Namibia. That's just the quick thing of Namibia, probably.
Shortened version. That's good to know. You learn something new every day.
And now we have to ask you if you can pronounce these names, Sam.
Oh my goodness, you're putting me on the
I
spot.
was just about to say.
I'm putting you on the spot.
And some of them are sideways, right? I'm gonna have to tilt my head. We have Port Louis there. Pretoria's on. Oshakati is on there. We got Manzini. Okay, we have 35 answers so far, so that is great. It's really cool to see where all of our guests are on from today. So really cool to have all this exposure for all the different people from the different spots. Oh, we got one more. I can't see who the new ones are. Lovely to have everybody with us from such a wide variety of cities. Okay, let's go to our next one. What is your emoji after hearing from our inspiring entrepreneurs today? I feel quite inspired, but let's see what emojis comes through. Oh, sleepy, inspired, smile. Wow, you can pop an emoji. There we go. I see some coming through. Amazed, excited, motivated, wowed. I like that. Got a heart emoji, a fire emoji coming through, love emoji, blushing, hope pin. We got happy, interesting, enlightened, spirited. We got a board there. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. I'm sure the announcement will be super exciting. Ambition, great. Yeah, I love the rocket ship. Awesome. We will go. Oh, I love the globe emoji as well. Okay, we will go to our next question, next and final question, and a fun one for today. This or that, are you team ice cream or team cake? I am team ice cream all the way, but I am not playing in the platform today. So let's see. I think so. This will be quite interesting. There's nothing better than a cold ice cream on a hot summer's day.
Oh, looks like cake is winning.
Cake is winning, absolutely. Awesome. Okay, great, everybody. So it is now 11:17. We are going to take a super quick break, and let's be back here at 11:25. Make a cup of coffee, do what you need to do, and then we'll come back for our exciting judges announcement. So thank you, everybody, and we will see you back shortly.
All right. Well, welcome back, everyone. Hello, hello. I think we all sort of felt that anticipation, waiting and waiting as we saw the judges collaborating and deliberating in the room. So thank you very much to our judges. I think before we do start again, I would just like to welcome you all back into our Zoom room. And I would also like to encourage you all just to turn on your cameras. We've had a chance to stretch our legs. We've had a chance to grab some coffee, some juice tea, and we are now, ready to engage again. Let's see some faces. I see the team pulling up. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Thank you very much, Ganesh. Welcome back. And yes, and also welcome to our country director for the World Bank Group, Miss Mary Francois. Mary Nelly is joining us now, who will also be giving us our closing remarks following the prize winners. So thank you very much, Miss Francois, Mary Nelly, for joining us today. And so what I will do now is hand over to our judges, who will now be giving us their feedback. Judges, just a reminder that we would like to hear from each and every one of you and just sharing your feedback for our entrepreneurs. And that is just a short piece of feedback, brief feedback from each and every one of you. And then Grace, I will then hand over to you to share who our winners will be for today's pitch presentations. And so to the judges in the room, I will hand over to you.
And thank you so much for that. So first of all, I'd like to say well done to every single person that took part in this pitch. Today, it's never easy to stand up there and give everybody an idea of what it is that you do. Just a few pointers for the next time. Make sure that you are clear with what it is that you're selling. Give a clear, concise walkthrough with exactly what it is that you do, where you do it, how you do it, and how we can get our hands on it. And next, do research in all aspects of your industry, standards, regulations, and laws. But apart from that, well done, well done, well done. And I cannot wait for you to hear who the winner is.
Sorry, I'd like to add something as well to that feedback. And it's really, a lot of you shared your team profiles and your org structures and so forth, but it's of no use to us, the judges, if we do not have context on, what your team members have done, what their qualifications are and so forth. If you just give us names, it makes it very difficult to understand why these people are the right people to drive your business forward. So I think that's something that most of you left out and something we'd like to see in the next pitch event.
All right, great. Also from my side, guys, well done. I think it's always very difficult standing on the other side. But just as some feedback from my side, I think it's important to do, really adequate competitor analyses, because oftentimes on the other side of the table, the judges do know your competitors, and it looks a bit, interesting when you give us stats that are not realistic or even real. I think the second one is around doing proper valuations of your companies, and then also essentially giving us a proper ask that also relates to how much you've generated and how much you plan to generate in revenue over the coming years. Because it's all good and well to ask for a few $1,000s for 20%, but is it realistic, and have you actually done the math on that? So yeah, thank you from our side.
And last but not least, I think I agree with all the comments the judges were made, but these were all, well-prepared presentations. You can tell that you've come a long way. So I think first and foremost, well done to each and every single one of you. I think the only thing that I would just sum up to say is, I think a lot of you are, trying to do too much at the same time. And as an investor, we sometimes want to know that, the money that, or the investment that is going to a targeted sort of project where we know that you can scale, as opposed to, being average on 3 things. You could actually be good at one, whilst, the other one can be bubbling under. But for when you're looking for an investment, be very specific about what the ask is for and the returns of the ask and the implied valuations of that. So I have the pressure of having to announce who the winners are. Is that right, Nani? Yeah, so a bit of a drum
please,
roll.
we've all been waiting.
So it was very, very close. So I know there's only 2 prizes, most unfortunately, but it was worth at least highlighting the third, starting with the third person, because it was very, very close, literally by 0.275. So in third place, we have Viber Media. And in second place, as I said, very, very close by 0.25 decimals, we have Moon Snacks does it again. Well done. Well done, Bruno. And in first place, it is none other than Hanukkah Agriculture. Yay! Well done. Yes. Over back to you, Nani.
Great. Thank you so much, and congratulations to Hanukkah Agriculture, Moon Snacks, as well as Vibe Media. Yeah, you've all done an amazing job, but please note, all of the entrepreneurs on the call, you are all winners, and you are all walking away with AWS credits as well. So thank you very much to our judges for the deliberations and that choice. And thank you very much as well to all of the entrepreneurs that pitched. Congratulations to you all. And we're excited to see where you go from here. We will be all watching you and making sure we're keeping track of all your progress and developments. And again, congratulations to all of our winners. And now we will move on to our closing remarks. I'm sad to see the event sort of drawing to a close now, but I would like to welcome Marie-Francois Marinelli, who is the Country Director for South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Lesotho, and Eswatini, who will be closing out with her closing remarks and coming in here with a perspective from the World Bank Group. So Mari, without wasting any more time, I will now hand over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nonsebo, the panelists. Good to see you, Grace. It's been a while. Also, Michelle, and certainly all our, pitchers, if I can put it this way. I've been able to join you partially. I was on and off, but those who know me know how I'm always excited to be in such panel. It's so inspiring. And more importantly, I see the progress that has been made since we started to think about this idea of a regional entrepreneurship community when I joined in late 2019. I think that Michelle also has explained how from an idea that existed, in South Africa on innovation, it has been transformed into this innovation bridge portal. And now it has been transformed and expanded in a single digital platform that will provide support to MSMEs, entrepreneurs, not just in South Africa, but in the sub-region. I was able to join actually when Michelle was presenting the features of the platform, and it's actually quite amazing. And already one recommendation that I want to make to all of you is that how do we make it known much more broadly, because it has so much value that, and I see that there is a tendency for, other players to create platforms. So already one of my asks in terms of my final remarks is to see, and I'm pleased that we have this structured launch in each of the country over the week, but beyond that, how do we make it happen? I see this platform really with so much potential to address, I would say, the single most issue in our region. One is, of course, unemployment. We know the high rate of unemployment, particularly within the youth. But more importantly is that how do we use, this youth, this potential, this energy, ideas to really contribute to reignite growth. We know that, our sub-region has not been growing that much. And I think that it is really, the youth, the startups, the entrepreneurs, so those who have heard today at much broader scale, that will help. And I really like something that I think, it was not Michelle, but one person said, it's not just about making money, but making impact. I really love this observation that was made earlier. So first of all, I am pleased to see, as a country director of Southern Africa covering the 5 SACU countries, that indeed we have been able to achieve this first milestone of having the platform reaching, this region. For the entrepreneurs and the pitches that are online, you know that this comes with a lot of advantages. First of all, the large, South Africa market, but also being in a community that you have so much advantage of, free trade movements, and it's already, something significant. And I see the possibility to expand that beyond the SACO countries to the broader SADC region. I had the opportunity to meet the new executive secretary of SADC when we were in Washington for the spring meetings a few weeks ago, and I saw that it is an energetic person. So I would like to put it, as a next step, Nonsebo as a program director, and that you will help summarize, the ideas coming. Let us very quickly see how we expand that. We have a number of countries in the region that have this potential and beyond. So what I wanted to say is that indeed, this can be a game changer. And when I was saying addressing, the challenges of the region, I'm thinking not only, the high value startup that can be easily connected, to market of global significance, but also let's just think of the entrepreneur in the underserved area, in smaller town, rural area, which now with the Innovation Bridge portal can have access to a lot of resources, not only regional resources, but resources for also global impact. So I think that that is quite important. And I take it that the portal is 0 rated, I hope, to make the information accessible for everybody. So let me make this point. And then obviously, what we have been saying most of the time is that not only, having access to the information allow you to develop partnership across entrepreneurs, from the sub-region. And I hope that we can, of course, go beyond the Southern African region to go, to West Africa. We know the big Nigeria market and all the ideas. We had met in a previous event, this young man that has developed the Uber truck. So this is something that can be applied easily in our sub-region. There is nothing wrong in expanding good ideas. So that is one aspect that I see. But also, I think, and this is where the World Bank becomes a good convener, if I can put it, connector, is that facilitate, the interface between government and businesses, and how to. I've been engaging with entrepreneurs, and I do know that it is still, despite the effort that have been done, it's still, there are still many hurdles. So this is where, as a platform, you can provide the information. This is where the shoe is pitching. Why do we need to have these procedures? Yesterday I was having a very good discussion with my team in terms of digital payment, cross-border payments. I'm, for example, just telling you, I'm organizing myself a trip to Botswana and Namibia during the month of August, doing a beautiful safari, just to make the payment, it's not that easy. So let us think about, how this will facilitate. And I saw in the proposal that were presented today, clearly there is ambition to go beyond border. So, for example, so how do we go to government to discuss that? I know that the issue of the Startup Act has been, put on the table. We've had a forum of discussion, and recently I had the opportunity to meet the acting director general of the National Treasury in South Africa. And I said, it is very important to push these ideas. It is very important to push. My colleague, who is a regional director of equitable growth, investment, and trade, met the Prime Minister of Lesotho last week. I could not join them. Again, we have the opportunity when we meet the senior authorities to push it. So how we bring the ideas together, come up, with a solution to push, to simplify, the enabling environment, the ecosystem, as Michelle presented it more broadly. But more importantly, I think, is that how, you create, exchanges. It so happened that 2 weeks ago, I was, in Washington, and I used the opportunity to go to the Silicon Valley because I have a nephew who lives there. And I went to Stanford, and I was just thinking, how it all started. You can see, and I said my dream was to say, maybe in 10 years, in 15 years, we will say what we have done today, with the innovation grid portal. Okay, we lead to that. And we said, this is when it started. And we have to rush. So really, it is this level of inspiration that, I want to put on the table. And that leads me to my next point to say that I was pleased to see, the presentation. And I think that both the presenters and the judges made a good job. I think that you have highlighted exactly, the issues where, entrepreneurs need to focus in terms of their market, their structure of their business plan. So, and more importantly, not to be discouraged because, you are not necessarily going to get it the first time, but there is no reason to be discouraged, because I know that we have top 3, but for the others, I'm talking to the others. No, you should not be discouraged. You need to continue precisely use that to improve your value proposition. And maybe next time, you will be better. So you will not be surprised if my next point is to talk about female entrepreneurs, and I'm not biased at all. But I think that it is important, that first of all, we know that diversity improves the overall quality of output, but we need to make sure that women entrepreneurs, play a bigger role. So I want to continue to make the plea. I remember last year we had a special session around, supporting female entrepreneurship. Let us make sure that we do not forget and we continue, to support this platform. So let me now mention to you what we are the World Bank. I think that you are already aware of it, but it's a good opportunity, to come back to that. We have made a deliberate effort to say that must be a priority. And Ganesh has been really spearheading that. And we are pleased with that, but we want to go to scale. And the way we put it is that, first of all, how do we work on the enabling environment, the advocacy, the policies that need to be changed, and you are a key player on that. And secondly, how to look at both the demand side, so the ecosystem, the financing needs, the early seed funding, the investment funding that is required, but also, of course, all of you, I saw you have 1 to 3 employees, you are starting. We need also to develop the skills because not everybody will be an entrepreneur, right? So we need to ensure that there is space for these workers and that they are fully equipped. And that is really a key point. In fact, as I speak to you, since we have a Eswatini team on the online, I hope, our team is working to define, and I believe that Ganesh is also in Babane, to look at how to develop the appropriate skills to prepare the youth. And it's even more important. I was mentioning being, in the Silicon Valley last week, and when I looked at the impacts of the chat GPT, how artificial intelligence is coming at big speed, and I said, how do we make sure that the African continent is not left out of that, because it's a big change, it's a sea change that is coming also in this landscape. So we need to look at that as we think at the skills that will be required. It will be more, solution orientation, It will not be necessarily be a specialist in a particular point, but how do we move on that? So that is the way we have been implemented, but I'm pleased to inform you that we have actually now transformed that into concrete engagement. And let me start with the Kingdom of Lesotho, because last month a project called Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion was launched by the Minister of Finance. And in fact, we also met the Minister of Finance, who is a woman, as you know, in Washington. And she was so keen about this project that it's so encouraging. So we said, we just cannot, afford, failing with this project. And what is interesting is that it, as I said, looking at the job platform, not only does it look at, how to improve the quality of services to businesses, but it is coming with the early seed financing. Because we know, as I've always said, not everybody has the on-call that will give the seed money, the angel financing. So we need to create, this space. And more importantly, having, the entrepreneurship hub. Something that I forgot to mention when I was talking of the platform was to say that we have also suggested to have a value chain approach. I think it's a big element that is coming now. How do we look at the value chain in country, at the regional level and now at the global level. You know, I've been mentioning, for example, that when I was working in North Africa, Tunisia was one of my countries. And we had the Tunisian very much engaged in producing spare parts, small parts for Boeing. And actually, it was very often, you know, in these factories, women that were there, you know, because of the precision, the quality. So we need to think big, local value chain, regional, but also global value chain. I think that is very important. So in the case of the Lesotho project, we decided to have a focus in the initial phase on horticulture, because we have been able to demonstrate in the case of Lesotho that farmers can regroup themselves and organize viable, you know, size of farm that can deliver product. And the beauty is that they can not only service, you know, the Maseru market, but the South Africa market, because looking at, you know, the agricultural season, their production comes a bit earlier. So they have this edge and they can have this niche market before the big South African production comes out. So it's a type of refinement. And I heard the judges mentioning that, you know, how do you define your market? That is very important. So I'm pleased that we have this project. It has an early seed component. It has a financing component. And my hope is indeed, if this works, that could be something that we, with the, of course, the agreement of the government, that could be rolled out, you know, in the other countries. We also need to have this type of scheme, even for the smaller entrepreneurs, you know, in the township at the local level. And in that, when I was in Washington 2 weeks ago, I was pleased because we had developed a similar project in Morocco. So not just, you know, the large startup, but they, you know, but same structure for in Marrakesh actually, and it is moving well. So I am going to facilitate the South-South exchange so that we can look at it and see how we can expand that. The IFC, you know, our private sector sister, if I can put it this way, has also developed, you know, a fund, to a fund, the Knife Capital. It is an accelerator fund, but this is what we need, because we need engagement, you know, the early seed, the accelerator, and of course, after when you are big, you can go to the financial market and to the banking system. But this is there, is part of the information that we will put, you know, on the Innovation Bridge portal as information, because I did hear, you know, requests of financing, and I see that the ones that have been presented, you know, are smaller, but we need to start thinking in stages. So very pleased to say that as a World Bank Group, we are committed, you know, to this agenda. You know that we have a new president coming on board June 2nd, Mr. Ajay Banda, and he's coming as the former CEO of MasterCard with a big engagement in financial inclusion, a big engagement in, you know, accessing, facilitating digital payments. And what he was saying, I saw in a previous incarnation, is that we should not focus on the 15% of the global population that has access, but on the 85%. And this is exactly what we want to do when I'm mentioning, you know, the rural area, facilitating this engagement. So we are very keen as a World Bank Group to continue to support that. This could not be, you know, a side event, but first of all, that we would like to use this week to amplify the information. I was just before joining you talking to our communication officer, senior communication officer, Lavinia, to say we need to make this heard. And then from there, see how, you know, as a platform, we make it alive, that we have these periodic pitches, because it's, you know, as I said, it's as you repeat, as you try, you perfect, you improve the way you are doing. So very, very, very delighted to see the world travel since, you know, in 2019, despite COVID, how we launched it yesterday. Let us really make sure that we set the stage for the next 5 years in a very systematic fashion, deliberate fashion. And I would like to end by really thanking you all. First of all, Nonsebo as facilitating the session today, doing an excellent job at that. All the moderators, the judge I meant, and of course, the entrepreneur that came very strongly to pitch. Of course, our team from the Department of Science and Innovation, the CSR, and also the Department of Small Businesses in South Africa. So we are starting to constitute also a community of supporters of this important initiative. And of course, the Finco, that has been really our technical partner on that. And I want to mention in the other countries, the Botswana Digital and Innovation Hub. In Eswatini, I want to mention the Wild Science and Technology Park. And of course, we are in Namibia today with the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board that has been absolutely active and extremely dynamic to support investment more broadly, but a recognition of the importance of that. Certainly in Lesotho, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Business Development and Tourism. I think that this joint, commitment and collaboration, it's absolutely critical. I always want to say we need to take date. We are May 9, 2023, and we had already May last year when we launched. Now we are at another stage. I see that Nick JC sent me a little message as you are speaking. I hear synergy. Yes. I will be happy to meet with you when and to find 30 minutes as you are suggesting. But congratulations to our winners. Encouragement to the pitchers who did not make it today, but just an encouragement. Thank you to the organizer. Thank you to the ecosystem. Let us make sure that, the Innovation Bridge portal is kept alive. I want to have a coucou, as you say in French, I'm French, to Grace, because I saw how, she brought really this innovation on the startup, if I can put it on the starting blocks. I was looking for the words, from the beginning. So thank you so much. Have a lovely day, and let us keep going. Let us make it happen. Thank you so much.
Excellent, great. Thank you very, very much to everyone. And thank you very much, Ms. Marie-Francois Marinelli. We really do appreciate those words. And I think that encouragement and boost you've given is really great for us to get started with our events for the rest of the week. We've really, I think, set the tone quite well. And congratulations once again to our entrepreneurs. Congratulations to our partners as well on the ground that have made this a success. This has been, I think, truly an amazing event, and congratulations to the team. I saw some special shout outs coming through on the chat, so I will just take a moment to mention Sam Stodel, as well as Asande Mashaba and Dino Balotti. Thank you very much from the World Bank. Special shout out to you for putting this all together, as well as the rest of the team and making this possible. But to everyone else, enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you joining us.
I see that there is a question. There is a question in the chat. I don't know if you can respond. The question is that what is the prize to the winners? Can you
Sure, we are happy
that?
to repeat. Yes, sure, great thing. Thank you. We have 20,000 Namibian dollars going to our first prize winner and 10,000 Namibian dollars going to our second prize winner. So I hope that helps, and also helps you sort of prepare and get ready for the next few pitches. Hopefully we will have another program where you will have an ability to present your pitch as well. But to the rest of our entrepreneurs presenting later on in the week that are on the call as well, good luck. And to those that won today, congratulations and thanks everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a good day.